So I spotted, and it makes me very proud to see it, that Sage topped the leaderboard for the FTSE 100 when they announced on a regular Tuesday morning that they announced a 10% increase in revenue for the first quarter of its financial year. So revenues came in at 674 million for the 3 months up to December 2025. And most of that growth was said to be broad-based across regional and product portfolios. So things like Sage Business Cloud, which saw a 15% increase, with cloud native revenue rising 24%, and also looking at the different territories. So North America, the revenue grew by 13% to 304 million. The UK and Ireland and Africa saw a 10% increase to 194 million. And Europe grew 7% to 176 million. Overall, just super proud to see one of our big UK companies doing so well. And also the fact that they have been making strong changes to their product. They're talking about the innovation that they've invested in across their AI powered platform, which I'll come on to shortly. And they, I think this looks really positive for the remainder of the year. We saw a lot of growth by acquisition in the previous years taking place by Sage, but it feels like they're coming into their own with a more defined vision of how Sage in itself is becoming once more a technology giant for innovation. Given the size of them, it's great to see how they are embracing change so quickly compared to some of the other much larger accounting softwares and ERPs. It feels like they're still acting very startup in their mindset.
Yeah, I mean, this is very exciting news from Sage, isn't it? Almost tempting me back into buying Sage shares, having sold mine a few years ago. Um, I haven't looked at the detail of this, but I'd be really interested to see where the majority of that growth has been coming from, because we know, particularly over the last few years, Sage Intacct, which is an acquisition they made, gosh, what, 5 or 6 years ago now, was driving the majority of growth and expansion for Sage as a business more broadly. And obviously that means that looking at other products like X3, but also Line 50 and the cloud offerings, the broader cloud offerings, need to catch up, need to carry on growing and scaling. So, yeah, it'd be interesting to see that. I had an interesting conversation actually whilst I was away last week on the ski trip, of talking about, wondering if Sage is undervalued. Their market cap's around about 10 billion approximately. And if you kind of compare that to Xero, which obviously a newer company, only got one single product, their market capitalization, even though the share price has been tanking recently, is still probably above Sage, or more or less equivalent now, with the foreign exchange rate differences and stuff. And it's like, well, how is it that Sage, with a multitude of products in market, all pretty capable, is seemingly undervalued potentially, especially when you compare it to Xero, and obviously a huge gap to Intuit. So maybe there's more to come from this. Maybe there's an opportunity for Sage to really grow and do more. But yeah, exciting times, I think.